Hey, hi guys, welcome back to Code with Venki. Today we'll see a LeetCode question. Customer who visited but did not make any transactions. Here we have visits table which contains visit ID, customer ID. Here visit ID is the primary key for this table, and we have another transactions table which contains transaction ID, visit ID, amount. Here transaction ID is the primary key. So we'll jump into the question. Write a solution to find the IDs of users who visit without making any transaction and number of times they made this type of visits. So we need to find the user IDs who didn't make any transaction, and we need to find the number of times they made this type of transactions visits. Like they will visit many times to the store but they won't make any transaction. So we need to find the users who did this and how many times they did. We'll jump into an example test case. Here in input we have visits table containing visit ID, customer ID. For transactions we have transaction ID, visit ID, and amount. In output we need to give customer ID and number of transactions. Okay. Before going to solution, here I will explain the logic I am applying for. I will take a visit table and transactional table, and I will see for whether how many records we have matching or non-matching records. So match record is called match when visit ID from this visiting table is contains visit ID in the transaction table. So here you can see visit ID 1 is present in visit table, right? Similarly, we have visit ID 1 in transactional table. Then I will mark this as matched, and if there is no matched, I will take null in transactional table. So in visit ID and transaction ID and amount, which contains as null value for non-match records. So finally, after doing left join, and we will use filter where transaction is ID is null, because we need to find who didn't make any transaction, right? So and how many times they did without doing transactions and visiting the store. So we need to find all this, right? So for that only I am taking where transaction ID is null. So for transaction ID as null, we contain visit IDs as these, and the customer IDs are 30, 96, 54, 54. So after grouping all the filtered records, we finally got output as cust ID as 30, 96, 54, and number of transactions they made, like they didn't purchase anything, and done the visited the store many times. So that account we are keeping here. For custody 30 we have 1, 96 we have 1, and 54 we have 2. So we'll jump into the solution. Before going to the solution, please pause the video and try for your solution. I hope you will get the solution. Yeah, here I will start with select. We'll jump into output, so that we can know which we want to select, which columns we have to select. So here we have customer ID, right? Customer ID and count. We'll get count. Uh, from customer only we will get, right, how many customers. So I'm taking customer ID. So I will take count, count, and I will put customer ID so that as count, so that we'll get the number of transactions made. So I will take from visits table, visit table V, I will use left join, and I will join this visits table with the transactions table. I will mark this as T. So we T, and on I already mentioned, right, we have similar columns from visit tables and transaction table, which is visit ID, right? So I will take this visit ID, p dot visit ID should equal to t dot visit ID, and I already mentioned I will filter the record based on transactional ID, right? Transaction ID should be null, then only we'll find the persons who customers who did not make any transaction and just visited the store. So for that I'm doing, and we need to find to in order to get customer ID, output as customer ID, customer count, like here we are having only customers, right? We don't have any duplicates and all. You can observe here we have 34 and count is 2, but if we want to print an output like expected, so here you can observe 54 is came one time, but the count of the transaction count is 2. So similarly for 30 it is 1. So in order to get, we need to group the customer ID. So I'm using group by v dot so it is customer ID, so customer ID. So hope this works. We'll see whether it is working for this problem or not. We'll run and see. Hopefully it is working. So this is the output of our code, and this is the expected output. Both we satisfying the conditions that mentioned in this problem. So we'll run a test this code for hidden test cases and see whether it is working for hidden test cases or not. Hopefully it will work here. Here it is working fine. So this is the approach and the solution for a customer who visited and but did not make any transactions. So if you have any queries, please do comment, and please do support, follow, and subscribe the channel. Thank you guys. Bye bye.